So thank you, friends, for being here this evening. Thank you for your friendship and for your support. It is a real pleasure to be able to host this event tonight, as I said from the start. I hope all of you here have a good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Can I now invite Imam Hassen Rasool to give us a short reminder and then take us all the way to Iftar with Azan. Imam Rasool.
Thank you very much. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا وسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا. هو الذي يصلي عليكم وملائكته ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور وكان بالمؤمنين رحيما. تحيتهم يوم يلقونه سلام وأعد لهم أجرا كريما. يا أيها النبي إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. صدق الله العظيم. Due to time constraints, I'm not going to do the entire translation. But those verses end by God saying that, O Prophet Muhammad, we have sent you as a witness, as a bringer of glad tidings, and as a warner. And essentially, God also refers to the Prophet as a lamp, a bringer of light. How beautiful is that? The Prophet has many titles, and one of which God refers to him directly as a lamp, a lantern. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum, my dear distinguished guests. Recent times, as you all know, there's been a shadow been cast upon our world. The Quran eloquently reminds us that amongst His signs is the creations of the heavens and the earth, and the diversity of your languages and your colors. Indeed, in that are signs for those who have knowledge. Many here would have observed the rare convergence of Ramadan and Lent, a shared season of sacrifice and deep introspection. As a Muslim, I can appreciate and recognize the beauty of Lent, just as we all must cherish the richness of all cultures and religions. That beauty is worth protecting. So we gather here in the month of Ramadan, here in the heart of British governance, arguably in a place we've prided ourselves on justice and the rule of law. But Ramadan calls us not only to our personal reflection, but our collective responsibility. The Quran commands us, O you who believe, stand firm for justice as witnesses to God. As witnesses to God, even if it's against your own self, or even your own kin. Because justice is not just a slogan. It's not a diplomatic convenience. It's a measurement of humanity. And history will remember those who stood for it or those who turned away from it. Tonight, we'll sip water and we break our fasts. But while in Gaza, water itself has become a tool of war. We'll share our beautiful meals while entire families are being obliterated from the civil registries. And their names are being erased from the rubble. We'll gather and comfort from these palatial homes and carpets, while hospitals are being bombed. But the question is not political. It's actually moral. Diversity, from the verse we just beautifully cited, diversity is a divine sign. It's a divine injunction. But silence in the face of oppression is a betrayal of that divine truth. Ramadan, it teaches us that restraint is power. Restraint is power and patience is action. And justice is not an abstract idea, but it's a lived commitment. So those in positions of power and influence, I humbly say this: words without action is complicity. Silence in the face of suffering is an endorsement of oppression. This genocide will be remembered, and so will our stance. Tonight, as the call to prayer will be signaling the breaking of the fast, let it also be a breaking of our conscience. Let it not be a private, devotion. Let it be a public stand. Stand for what is right and what is just. What is justice if not the very essence of faith? And what is faith if it doesn't compel us to act? So, may this month awaken our moral clarity, and give us the courage to stand up, and the strength in our speech and our hearts to stand up on the right side of history. We still have how many minutes left? 7 minutes left. But we have a very profound orator, and someone who everything I've just spoken about, he epitomizes it. And I cannot, for the life of me, be standing before you and not allowing this gentleman to say a few words. If you may, please. Hussam, please. Yes. I just, please, I would love for you to say a few words before the breaking of the fast. And I'll do the call to prayer, please. It's really important that we hear the voices of truth and justice in this time that we are living in right now.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته جميعا. رمضان مبارك. Ramadan Kareem. Mr. Secretary, all of our friends here outside my room, all the beloved friends, and Sheikh al-Kareem, what beautiful words about faith and belief, about humanity, about Islam, about the main verse of Islam that we created you different.
Indeed.
And you must come together all the time in such a holy month and in such a holy night and in such a place. Your words could not resonate more. It is definitely not just a moment of hurt, but it also must be a moment of unity. We must all come together to make sure that we save our own values. Our values, be it religious values, be it political values, be it legal values. And today it is also about a form of friendship, which is trade. So we do not want to deviate from the significance and the importance of trade, even in religion, to make people aware of each other, connect with each other, sustain their relationship. Indeed, it's a difficult moment. It's a difficult moment in Gaza, in Palestine, a difficult moment in Ukraine, a difficult moment all over us. We all feel the heat of the moment, but we also see the beauty of the humankind. We see the solidarity, we see the understanding. And I must admit, Mr. Secretary, also the clear position of the UK government that was expressed only last week by the Foreign Secretary in the House of Parliament about the need to respect international law, that violation of international law must be held accountable, and the UK stands fully behind the equal application of international law. I won't be long, I know we're fasting and about to break. You surprised me with this. But I just want to say that we stand at a historic moment, in a historic place, with all the resonance, with the very special historic relationship between our region, and I see our team here, and I see many of my colleagues, the Arab ambassadors, Muslim ambassadors, with that historic relationship, and its good side and not so good side. Perhaps we all see a very leading role by the UK to actually strengthen that relationship via trade, but also via people-to-people relations, and to make sure that this leadership will bring the peace, the justice, the fairness that we all deserve, and will give the next generation what we are ought to give them in terms of stability, prosperity, in terms of potential. And I assure you, our region has so much potential, and I assure you, our region is longing to tap into that potential and to partner with you. So Ramadan Mubarak and Ramadan Kareem, and thank you, Sheikh. You have such a beautiful message and voice. Shukran.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. These are historical moments. So as we stand on these beautiful carpets, woven with care, attention, pride, we should definitely also see ourselves as these woven souls. What is your tapestry? Genuinely. We like schmoozing. We like being in the corridors of power. It's our nature. But time will pass. We will, in fact, our own family will forget us one day. It's important to recognize the power you've been handed in the so-called power of corridors. Use it effectively to change the annals of history, and you can do this. Words are powerful, and I've chosen my words extremely cautiously. Make that difference it certainly can be done with people in this room. The guest lists have been curated as they are normally for a reason, for a purpose. There are people in this room who can make that difference. So we call something in our religion niyyah, intention. Remember, intention has the power to move mountains. It really does. What's the time, if I may ask? And may I have a glass of water?
5 minutes, 5 minutes.
Okay.
We
Well,
also have date.
do you want to take me on a date? What we'll do now is recite some Quran, I think, and rest our souls. Intellectually, we can be charged, but Ramadan does almost demand us to pay full attention to God. Before I recite some verses, the great luminary Ghazali, Imam al-Ghazali, if you don't know about him, just read up about Imam al-Ghazali. He said that fasting can be broken up into 3 main categories. And while I'm explaining these 3 categories, ask yourself, which category do we belong in? The first one is the one that abstain from food and drink, right? And the second one is that they abstain from food and drink, but they don't gossip, and they don't swear, and they don't commit any sins. We'd like to maybe consider ourselves part of damn lot, because sometimes we fast and we'll still be cussing, we'll still be, talking ill of other people and so on and so forth. But the third category is those that not only abstain from food and drink, not only hold their tongue and protect their private parts and so on and so forth, but the third, they omit and they remove everything from their hearts except God. That is a state, a space, a place to be. Even to experience for an iota of a minute or a second or 10, to experience the sweetness of the proximity of God. The proximity of God. And it's a verse in the Quran. God said to the Prophet Muhammad, if they ask you about me, tell them that I am near. So when we're making these decisions, make them based that one day accountability will be between you and our Maker, the breaker, the shaker. So humble our hearts and our souls to the majesty of God. This is important. We've got 2 minutes, we'll recite a few verses and then we break our fast. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل فجعلهم كعصف مأكول بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين Can I get that sip of water, please? Thank you. Oh. Thank you. Bismillah. Bismillah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, those who wish to pray, to go through the left, right to the bottom. There's a room with facilities for prayer. And then once you come back, we'll go into the lovely food as well. Thank you very much.
Amazing. شكرا ما شاء الله شكرا جزاك الله خير